I just finished watching Clint Eastwood's film Sully. While in certain ways it's not necessarily the kind of film I typically find spectacular, it did prove itself to be quite a masterpiece. Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Film Friday, in which I review a new film every single week. This week we're looking at the 2016 film Sully, starring Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart. As always, this will contain some spoilers, so consider yourself warned. Let's get into it. This film portrayed the dramatic events of an emergency landing which Captain Sullenberger was forced to make on the Hudson River, an event which did occur in real life. Just after taking off from LaGuardia Airport, the plane is struck by a flock of birds, disabling both the right and the left engines, making it impossible to continue flying. Realizing that he didn't have enough altitude to make it back to either LaGuardia or JFK, Captain Sullenberger made the decision to crash land the plane in the middle of the Hudson River. Incredibly, not a single life was lost in the crash, and the event was nicknamed The Miracle on the Hudson. But this film was about more than just the crash itself. Aptly named Sully, it was something of a personal look at Captain Sullenberger, and the PTSD which he experienced in the weeks following this event. It also explored how his decision to land in the middle of the Hudson almost cost him his career and reputation. As an experienced pilot, Sullenberger knew in the moment that he didn't have enough time to make it back to either airport, and for the safety of his passengers and the citizens of New York, the only option was to land on the water. However, the National Transportation Safety Board claimed this was a case of pilot recklessness, because certain computer simulations showed he did indeed have enough time to return, and one of the engines may have still been working. Because of this, the film ended up being part thriller and part legal drama, and in fact it was the board investigation and legal proceedings which drove the story forwards, while the water landing was told through a series of flashbacks. And while this is a potentially fragile balance to strike, the film pulled it off remarkably well. There was never any confusion about which events were occurring in the present time and which were depictions of the past. In fact, these flashbacks actually improved the pacing of the film and helped to tie the narrative thread together. The film succeeded in portraying the actual events of the landing with remarkable intensity. Even having prior knowledge of what happened in real life, I still found it suspenseful and gripping. This was accomplished partly due to the cinematography and the well-placed editing, and partly due to the soundtrack. Captain Sullenberger and his co-pilot Jeff Skiles were played by Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart respectively, the latter of whom I believe I've only ever seen in The Dark Knight, which I will be reviewing later on. Overall, a good score, great sound design, decent cinematography, and an incredible true story come together to make this a solid 8 out of 10 movie. Well worth watching no matter what genre you enjoy. But be forewarned, some moments are rather intense. Thanks for watching, and be sure to comment your own thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more movie reviews and commentary.